despite having lived in Florida for, I would say, probably the last 20 years or so, and in the Central Florida area for the last 10 of those, one thing that we've never done is bioluminescent kayaking. So tonight, we're gonna go check it out.
I need to know, is using a Freightliner to haul two 10-foot kayaks overkill? Asking for a friend. Anyway, we traveled along some familiar roads and headed to the area around Indian River Lagoon. The northern region of the lagoon is one of the top bioluminescence research areas in the world.
All right, so I've arrived here at Bairs Cove Boat Ramp, and I think this is where we're gonna launch. We drove right by Biolab, and I thought we were actually gonna put in there and launch into Mosquito Lagoon, but it looks like we're gonna go to a different spot.
Hi, I'm Don, and along with my wife Vanessa and daughter Capri, we travel the country as well as the state of Florida chasing adventure. But tonight's kayaking trip, that was just me and a group of friends. We sold our rigid kayaks a while back, opting for the inflatable variety, which makes transporting them much easier. However, as you can see, there is some setup involved.
So the weather was supposed to have blown out of here by now, and I'm hoping it's gonna stay to the north of us, but it is pretty dark and breezy. The windier it is, the harder that paddle is gonna be for everybody. All right, so I left the Osmo Pocket in the Jeep. The phone's in a waterproof box. So I've got one DJI Action, another DJI Action. It's basically a GoPro if you're not familiar with them, just DJI's version. And I'm gonna be doing my best to capture the rest of tonight on these little cameras.
My ride for this evening was the Tacoma K2 by Intex. This ultra-affordable tandem kayak seats an adult and child comfortably, but as you can see, it works great for a single paddler. I'll drop a link in the description. As the large group I was with started to put into the water, we came upon a herd of manatees just off the kayak launch area.
I was gonna say, is this a manatee or there we go.
These aquatic herbivores come to the surface every few minutes to breathe, though they can stay submerged as long as 20 minutes at a time when resting.
It's right there. There they are. So listen, I just want to warn you guys right now. The first time I filmed for YouTube, I ran into a snake and mating gators. The second time I filmed for YouTube, I ran into a wildfire by a lightning strike. This is the third time I filmed for YouTube. As long as they do it right here, I got a fighting chance.
Yeah, he's right there. He's fixing to come over.
So I'm definitely not going out in open ocean water while filming for YouTube ever. He is right here.
Given that track record of exciting events, I figured it was only a matter of time before a manatee decided to flip my kayak.
Is that what they say? Just the fin.
As the distant storm from earlier grew closer, the current began pushing my kayak down the river and threatening to separate me from the group. People were scrambling to get out of the water as the winds intensified. Those of us that didn't get out of the water took refuge against the shoreline as we waited for this to pass. While we clung to each other in the branches that anchored us to the shore, we saw a pontoon that was without power and at the mercy of the winds and current. Hopefully they were able to make it back to the boat ramp safely. The storm eventually blew over, and the manatees continued to put on a show while we waited for the sun to drop, at which point we would begin our paddle. Just as we set off, that premonition from earlier nearly came true as a manatee surfaced under the front of my kayak. It was time to go see the famed bioluminescent waters. Unfortunately, as you can start to see in this footage, the DJI Action cameras do not perform well in low light. Despite how brilliant and bright the bioluminescence was, these cameras were not able to capture it. Attempts to enhance the footage during editing were also unsuccessful. So while I can't show you just how amazing that experience was, I did bring my family back to the boat ramp a week or so later to see the manatees.
So we're back out at Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge. It's a little windy, a little stormy. We came out tonight to film a rocket launch. Now, unfortunately, that's been pushed back by a couple of hours, but I thought I'd take Vanessa and Capri down here to see if the manatees were out at the boat launch that I went kayaking a couple weeks ago. You guys see one over here?
Yeah, he's still staying under us.
Staying right here around us.
I'm naming him Finster.
Do what?
I'm naming him Finster.
Finster?
He came right here. Oh, look, I see bubbles.
Oh, he's gonna come up around here. Look at these bubbles.
I know. That's what I was going to just say.
Here he comes.
I know.
Here he comes. Let's see his back.
Look at his little cute face.
Let's see his back. Where's his head?
Where's your head?
Capri, lean
Can't
back.
tell. I do see his back. I just can't tell if I'm getting ready to get slapped by his fin.
Maybe. He's right there under you guys.
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh, I see him.
Oh, he's damn slow.
There he is.
Can I pet it? Can I pet it? I want to pet it.
Nope,
Why?
they're endangered.
So if he jump scares me again. Dad, a manatee jump scared me.
That's all you, bug.
She goes, oh Lord, I love you.
I set up an action camera along the dock in an attempt to capture some footage of the manatees playing in the cove. There were several out there, including the one that was hanging out right beneath Vanessa and Capri. And while there were no wake signs posted everywhere in this area, we still cringed every time a boat launched, knowing the danger propellers create for manatees. These gentle giants are dying in record numbers. At least 76 manatees died in 2022 after being struck by boats, and another 800 or so died statewide from starvation in the same year. And the year before, there were 1,100 manatee deaths in 2021, primarily driven by the loss of seagrass due to pollution, but also from boaters. Boat responsibly, and please take care of our waterways. They're a bit difficult to capture on camera, but here's a few quick shots. See you next time.